Hello, everyone. It's Wednesday, July 10th. This is Liam McMahon. I am a currency strategist over at GlobalFxClub.com. I'm here today to talk to you about Euro Yen and a little bit of what's happened and a little bit of what we might think about going forward on this pair. There has been and will be a good deal of fundamental pressure on Euro Yen, um, which I think should make for some volatile trading and perhaps some very good trading opportunities. So that's why I chose that pair for today. Please take a moment to pause the recording and read the risk disclaimer, which should now be on your screen, and then we'll go to the chart. All right. So here we have the hourly chart of Euro Yen. Some of the fundamental pressures that I was talking about. First off, we had S&P Standard & Poor's downgrade the Italian debt rating yesterday from BBB plus to BBB. Still investment grade, I think 2 steps above junk. The outlook, however, remains negative. They suggested there could be another outlook cut coming soon, or another ratings cut coming soon. That's somewhat concerning. It makes Italy's borrowing costs higher. It makes it harder for Italy to recover from their massive deficit and all the problems that they've been having. And it also adds pressure on a very fragile government, very fragile coalition government that's trying to run Italy right now. Cuts like this make their job harder, both from a public sentiment standpoint, and then also just from a practical standpoint in terms of just needing money. So that certainly put some pressure on the euro yesterday. And the other side of the equation is the yen. And the yen has been trading, as usual, in lockstep. Other yen pairs have been trading in lockstep with dollar yen. We saw dollar yen sell off a little bit last night, likely in anticipation of the FOMC minutes that are to be released later today. So we'll see if those FOMC minutes come in and they are dollar bearish, which would be that the Fed's not really looking to taper as much as we thought, or there's a lot more dissent within the ranks in regards to tapering. We could see yen pairs across the board, fly lower and drop lower, as dollar yen likely to sell off. That's not a guarantee because we could see an equity rally with that kind of with those kind of minutes, and an equity rally could support dollar yen. But in general, a dollar bearish reaction could be bearish for yen pairs across the board. So what we have here from a technical perspective on euro yen appears to be a nice triangle break and retest. All right, so we have these 2 touches to the top side of the trend line, and then on this 3rd touch, we broke, we retested, we've fallen lower. Moving averages starting to look increasingly bearish. These are, again, the hourly key moving averages 50 in red, 100 in green, 200 in tan. They are pointing lower, and we have seen a bearish crossover, 50 below the 100, now 50 below the 200. You would think probably by the end of the day we will achieve a full bearish configuration of moving averages here on euro yen. We're outside of this triangle. All right, we jump back out to the 4-hour chart. All right, we'll give a little bit longer term perspective. All right, we are barely holding on to the bottom end of this range. All right, so that's something to keep in mind. That's the 4-hour support that we've held right around 128. All right, you can see it back like that. All right, so we've held that, but we have broken the first sort of level of support and retested. So now we're in kind of this battle zone here between these moving averages that are around 129.50 and below this support, and this support here at 128. All right, so we're dancing back and forth here between this key area. Obviously, the major resistance will be these moving averages and this retest. There's also going to be some Fibonacci resistance right around that area as well. 129.27 marks the 50% fib of the decline from 130.55. And it corresponds nicely with these moving averages. So that's a big level to watch for today. In terms of shorts, and longs. All right, an opportunity to short up here could be in play. On the other hand, if we do manage to break back within above this hourly trend line, we could see a strong move higher and eventual breakout towards 131.40. On the other hand, if we do manage to make new lows, we could see that 4-hour break then come into effect, and we may see a move down towards first 126.50, followed by 124.80, and then we'll see from there whether or not we can break there and make new lows. So Euro Yen, definitely a pair to keep an eye on today and tomorrow. There are opportunities, I think, in either direction, but we need this battle range that we're currently trading in to be settled one way or another before we see really clear trading opportunities. But definitely keep your eye on Euro Yen. I have to say that I'm slightly biased to the downside here. I do really like this hourly break, but a lot of what's going to happen in this pair is going to be dependent on what the Fed says in a few hours this afternoon. All right, so I hope that's helpful. Keep your eye on those levels on Euro Yen. Good luck trading and enjoy the second half of your week.